Oh, woo-hoo-hoo. Welcome to Juneau, Alaska. Can you guys see the snow on the top of the mountains? Now you can see the snow on top of the mountain. It snowed last night. Are you overthinking your email outreach? Maybe you're having trouble re-engaging those prospects, those leads, those potential clients that have gone dark on you? Well, my friends, this episode of The Loyalty Loop is just for you. And by you, I mean those B2B marketers and sales associates who are desperately trying to re-engage those prospects that have gone dark. So how are we gonna do it? Well, I'm gonna show you the amazing mistake one B2B company made and how it led to an amazing re-engagement of those clients and prospects and leads that had just fallen off the face of the earth. I'll show you how they used 2 Loyalty Loop drivers, removing friction and scaling camaraderie to get them to start a conversation. All of that and more on this episode of The Loyalty Loop from right here in Juneau, Alaska. In a second, I'm going to tell you how made a giant marketing mistake and how that led to them re-engaging some of their coldest, quietest leads and prospects. You see, I spent the last 3 weeks interacting with B2B brands, and here's what I've been doing. I've been executing small moments of commitment, like signing up for newsletters and free trials, demos and webinars. I've been filling out contact us forms and asking for pricing information, and then I've been going completely silent. How awkward is that? And then I've been watching as desperate marketing teams and sales associates try to re-engage me with their long, lengthy emails and their requests to check out their calendar and make an appointment for a conference call. You guys are begging me to sign up on your calendar, which is a whole nother thing, by the way. Here's the deal. I think we're trying too hard, way too hard, to just start a conversation. So let me tell you what happened at... By the way, they've asked me to redact the name of the company because they're really embarrassed at the mistake they made, even though the results were amazing. Redacted. So here's what I can tell you. This B2B company sells very expensive medical equipment. Like, the base price is like $150,000 for 1 unit, and most of their deals are $1 million plus. This is a straight up expensive, long sales cycle and a big B2B purchase with lots of decision makers. So maintaining momentum in those conversations is crucial. What happened? Well, they were setting up a brand new marketing automation system, and the person setting up the system had set up a test email. And the test email read like this: subject line, subject line. Yeah, that's right. It just said subject line in the subject line. And then the body of the email said, hi, first name, and it actually did insert the first name. And then it said, wanted to reach out and show you some love, period. And then at the bottom it said, cheers, comma, and it would insert the signature of the account rep assigned to that person. That's it. It was just meant to be a placeholder for the first campaign they were going to send out in the new system. And here's what happened. That email, it went out. Oops, it went out! Yeah, it accidentally was scheduled and went out, not to just a few cold leads and prospects, but to hundreds and thousands of cold leads. It just went out. Now, I know what you're thinking. If you're a marketer, this is like the most embarrassing thing that could ever happen to a marketer setting up a new system. That's why I call this the oops campaign. Oops, it went out. But here's what happened. Their prospects re-engaged. They responded. Some of them responded by just asking, hey, was there supposed to be an attachment to this email? Question mark. Others emailed back with like a little update on where the project stood and thanked them for taking the time to just show them some love. Still others gushed these emotional responses in deep appreciation for somebody taking just a little bit time out of their day to show them some love. They were just so grateful that someone else was thinking about them. So had re-engaged some of their coldest leads and prospects. Here's what's amazing. had actually used two of the most powerful loyalty loop drivers to re-engage their quiet leads. The first loyalty loop driver they used was removing friction. You see, they removed the friction from the long, lengthy emails that were requesting their time and energy and effort, and they just simply re-engaged with one sentence. That's removing friction from the loyalty loop experience. And it got them to recommit, to respond, and re-engage in a conversation that will hopefully lead to a sale. The second loyalty loop driver they used was scaling camaraderie. Camaraderie is the mutual friendship and trust that people feel when they spend time together. And to make B2B sales really effective, we have to scale our camaraderie. We have to get people to trust us. And one of the best ways to do that is just ask them how they're doing. Just show them some love. This Oops campaign by is a great example of the simple power of scaling camaraderie. So, B2B marketers, maybe we're just trying too hard. Maybe we could just use two of the loyalty loop drivers, removing friction and scaling camaraderie, to re-engage some of our coldest, quietest leads. So take a second today and think about what's your version of the Oops campaign. It doesn't have to be a mistake like the guys at You could actually write one and schedule it and see what happens. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of The Loyalty Loop. Next week, we're gonna be in Clearwater, Florida, and we're going to show you another great example of scaling camaraderie. So if you haven't signed up for The Loyalty Loop, do that now so you don't miss next week's episode. In the meantime, I'm gonna go get myself a cup of coffee and warm up, and I'll see you in next week's Loyalty Loop. Have a great day.